It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving God praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Israel may have unofficially declared an all-out war on Iran.
Every day there's some sirens that are going off in a different part of the country. The drill is called Chariots of Fire. The drill itself is the largest. It involved all parts of the Israeli military, from the intelligence to engineering corps, all the way to Air Force, Navy, infantry, everything. So watch this. This morning, the Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz is giving a speech, very important speech. Today, in his own voice, said to the whole world, Iran is reaching enough physical material to have its first bombs. He said that as we speak, the Iranians are now manufacturing and installing the latest centrifuges that will work faster to enrich enough weapon-graded uranium for a bomb. He said within a few weeks, from what I know, they have enough 60% uranium that within 1 week of hard work, it can reach enough 90% for one bomb. He said, the price that we will pay today to eliminate the Iranian nuclear program is much smaller than the one we will have to pay a year from now. In other words, we cannot afford waiting. Israel cannot afford waiting. The Iranian regime today.
So as you can see right there, all right, they said they can't afford to wait no longer, man. This thing.
So that's all I'm pretty much going to play there. By the way, the water to this brother, Maccabees, servant of Yahweh Shai, for uploading this video. Basically, we're hearing rumors that the so-called Israelis, they're making claims that they can no longer wait to deal with this whole situation with the Iranians developing nuclear bombs by the use of using uranium. So we could very well be hearing about the so-called Israelis going into Iran soon. And we know that as soon as that happens, that's going to lead to World War III. Because, a lot of people is talking about how Russia and Ukraine could be the start of... No, Russia and Ukraine is not going to be the start of World War III. World War III is going to start when the so-called Israelis go into Iran. Because when they go into Iran, they're going to draw the United States into Iran. Okay, they're going to draw the United States into Iran to confront these Iranians. And when that happens, guess who's going to step in? Russia. Because Russia has a huge amount of interest invested in Iran. And if that interest was to be threatened by a great superpower such as the United States, they will, without a doubt, attack that superpower country, or that country that is responsible. And because NATO is an ally of the United States, they're gonna get involved, you see. And then, Russia also have allies as well. China's going to step in. North Korea is going to step in. Germany, Turkey is going to be involved. Iran, some of the Hamites, like from Libya, are going to get involved. And just like that, you're going to have World War III. What makes a war? What makes a war a world war? when the vast majority of the country's superpowers get involved into the war. That's why World War I was known as World War I, because the world superpowers were involved in that war. It was called World War II because the United States were involved, Germany was involved, the Vietnam was involved, Japan was involved, China was involved, Russia was involved. I believe NATO was also involved. So now, what are we seeing here? We're seeing all of the world superpowers getting revved up for World War III. Okay, just recent, China began conducting military exercises. But little do they know, the Lord is really getting them ready for World War III. Now check this out, Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. You see? Surely, okay, now Babylon is America. Modern day Babylon today is America. The Chaldeans are the Illuminati. And America, which is Babylon, is where the Illuminati carry out their rituals, their demonic enchantments, their witchcrafts, etc., etc. It's all done here in Babylon. Back in the ancient world, Babylon was the main conduit for the Chaldeans to carry out their sorceries and witchcraft. Okay, so it says, surely the least of the flock. Now, who's the least of the flock here? The least of the flock is talking about the so-called Israelis, right? They're the ones going around telling the whole world that they are the flock of the Lord, right? They're Jewish. They're the Lord's people. So they're going around. They're going around telling the world that they are the flock of the Lord's shepherd. So the least of the flock is talking about these so-called Israelis. Okay? And these so-called Israelis, they are not the Lord's people. According to the Holy Scriptures and according to prophecy of the Holy Scriptures, the Lord's people are the Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, and them whose father's lineage on their father's side goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indians. Because the man carries the seed, therefore a person's nationality is based on the nationality of who their father is. So it says, surely the least of the flock, which is those so-called Israelis, shall draw them out. Shall draw who out? Shall draw out the Babylonians. So these so-called Israelis, they're going to draw America and to their confrontation against Iran. And when that happens, that's going to spark major controversy. That's going to cause Russia to get involved, and then NATO, and then Germany, and then China, and then North Korea, and Turkey, and Libya. Okay? And Gomer, which I believe is France, is also going to get involved. Gomer, which is France today. Okay? It says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right, because not only is the land of Israel going to be wiped out by intercontinental ballistic missiles, which I believe that's why the Lord is raising up Iran. The Lord is going to use Iran to shoot intercontinental ballistic missiles on the land of Israel. Because if you think about it, the land of Israel is not too far from Iran. So it'd be real easy for them to create a intercontinental ballistic missile that could travel from their country to the land of Israel. And that's what these so-called Israelis fear the most about Iran. They fear that Iran might develop a intercontinental ballistic missile capable of traveling up into the ozone layer of the earth and then dropping down on the so-called Israelis. That's what they're afraid of. And that's why, they're making claims that they, the so-called Israelis, like the Prime Minister said, he said that he can no longer wait, So the Lord is putting a anxious spirit on these so-called Israelis. So also, let me get this. Revelation chapter 11, because we're here, brothers. We are almost out of this kingdom. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Now I understand that this might be a rumor of a war, but hey, you know what? We heard it from this man's mouth. Okay? Oh, and look at the number up here. Okay? It's 144 backwards. Hey, the Wadi Yahweh Shai. Yo, look what time it is over here. It's 10:44. You take the zero out, what are you left with? 144. Hey, Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. It says the second woe is past. What is the second woe? The second woe is talking about World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe is talking about World War III. World War III cometh quickly. Okay? Okay, we heard it from this person's mouth, this Iranian's mouth. He said that, you know, they can no longer wait anymore. So we could most definitely hear about the so-called Israelis going into Iran soon. So the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now let me get that in the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. And that's what the Lord have the Spirit on these nations to do. The Lord have the Spirit on these nations to prepare for war. As you see, you know, China's doing military drills. Japan is now doing military drills. We're hearing about Russia. You know, they're currently attacking Iran, but even they're doing military drills. They had a victory parade not too long ago. Okay, NATO conducting naval military exercises out in the seas. Okay, North Korea constantly testing intercontinental ballistic missiles. You know, South Korea and Japan being put on high alert over these intercontinental ballistic missile tests. So the Lord is gearing these nations up for war, you know. And now we got Germany who's now getting involved with this whole Ukraine situation. But real soon the war, Ukraine is going to be a thing of the past. Okay? Because the Lord wants this war to take place in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East, which is where Iran is located. So proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Verse 10. Okay? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what we're seeing here. The weak is saying they are strong. Okay? Because these countries now have nuclear capability. Okay, and rather if the so-called Israelis believe it or not, but Iran actually already have nuclear arsenal. Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Assemble where? Over there. Well, it's going to tell you right here. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. that's located in the Middle East. The Valley of Jehoshaphat is not in Ukraine, it's in the Middle East, which is where the so-called Israelis is about to make their move. They're about to make their move on Iran, which is in the Middle East. And by the way, Jehoshaphat goes back to the Hebrew word Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's the judge. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Lord is going to judge these heathens. And he's going to mainly judge them for their actions against the nation of Israel, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Yeah, the harvest is almost here, brothers. Watch as well as pray. Come and get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay? And yeah, the Lord is going to get these heathens, man. So hey, we could be hearing about a mandatory military draft here in the United States real soon. Okay? All you proud ass Jakes out there, okay? You walking around with your head in the clouds? Hey, get ready to be drafted into the military, man. Because one thing about Esau, he can use a bunch of niggas who love flaunting and flashing their guns on camera, on Instagram, on TikTok. Hey, they got your location, and when the time comes, you can see a sergeant dressed up in a United States military uniform, and guess what? He's gonna tell you your ass is gonna have to be drafted into the military because there is a crisis going on in the Middle East, and a lot of you're not gonna comply, and then they're gonna tell you that if you don't comply, you're gonna be locked up in prison and be considered a dishonor, right? Says, hey man, a lot of you Jakes, you ain't prepared for what's about to happen. Beautiful times we're living in, man. Isaiah chapter 34 verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. Okay, so Isaiah the 34th chapter is talking about World War III. I'm just going to tell you right now. Isaiah chapter 34 verse 1 on down is talking about World War III. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Right, going back to the book of Joel, the third chapter. Right, where the Lord said that he would judge the heathen round about. So the Lord is going to judge them with his fury. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. Yeah, because during World War III, it's going to be one big bloodbath over there. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of dead United States troops over there. But there's also going to be dead Iranian troops. There's going to be dead Russian troops over there. There's going to be dead Ukrainian troops, dead German troops. There's going to be dead African troops, dead Chinese troops, North Korean troops, which the North Koreans and South Koreans and the Chinese people, they're all the same. They're all Moabites. But there's going to be dead troops of them over there. There's going to be dead Arabian troops. There's going to be dead German troops. There's going to be dead NATO troops over there. So it's going to be a great slaughter over there, man. It's going to be one big bloodbath. Okay, it's literally going to be Call of Duty over there. Isaiah 34 verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. Right. Well, it tells you that in what? The book of Mark, the 12th chapter, when Mary and their sister told Yahushua about their dead brother Lazarus, and Yahushua went to that cave, right? Mary's sister told Yahushua, like, wait, are you sure you want to go in there? I mean, his body has been dead for 4 days and start to stink. So after a spirit leaves his body and the body starts to decompose, like About three to 4 days later, that body starts to stink. Okay, it starts to rot and stink from the inside out. So over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat, it's gonna reek of death. It says, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Right, because there's going to be pools of blood everywhere over there. It says, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved. How's that going to happen? That's going to happen through thermonuclear warfare. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's talking about a nuclear mushroom cloud. Because World War III is not going to just start off as a nuclear war. Because remember, the MOTB, the charagma, that has to come first before the nukes can be shot off. Because it is written that way. You know, some of the Lord's elect men is going to have to be beheaded. You know, whether if it be me or other brothers who are hoping to be of the elect, who Lord's will not take the chip, no matter what happens, you know. But then it's going to be some brothers who are still going to be alive, who's not going to take the charagma, and they're going to be beamed up on chariots. Okay, the Lord is going to deliver them from the thermonuclear destruction. So it says, and heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's talking about the mushroom cloud from a thermonuclear bomb. And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Okay? Because when a intercontinental ballistic missile first shoots off, it shoots off right up into the sky, and then up, you know, into, you know, within the ozone layer of the earth. And then while it's traveling through so-called space around the globe, it travels to a designated target. And then what happens next? Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, meaning it's going to fall out the sky. The capsule to the intercontinental ballistic missile is going to come off, and multiple nuclear warheads is going to come out of that capsule and rain death and destruction on America. So that's what's going to happen. So it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse the judgment. The people of the Lord's curse is talking about the Edomites. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So you people here in America, you're going to get it when that nuclear war break out during World War III. You're going to get it, man. Hey, the Lord's going to get y'all good. Now this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and I'll just start at 16. No, you know what? Let's start it at verse 13 and just read on down. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. Right, because the nuclear missiles from the Lord's wrath is going to have so much impact on this earth. It's going to create such an impact and such a great earthquake that literally grounds are going to be opening up. Vehicles and houses are going to be falling inside the earth. Trees are going to be falling inside the earth. People's going to be falling on their asses. It's going to be a great earthquake when those intercontinental ballistic missiles hit, man. I'm telling you. There's going to be tsunamis happening. Fucking big ass tidal waves from oceans and rivers washing ashore on cities. Like, you really got to picture these things. Because how does a tsunami happen? A tsunami happens from an earthquake happening below the ocean. Which causes what? Destabilization of the oceans or the river's waves, which causes large amount of waves to wash ashore the city or neighborhood or whatever. So the impact from these intercontinental ballistic missiles is going to be so devastating that the earth is literally going to be moved out of its axis. It says, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts. Because this is all going to be a part of the Lord's wrath and a part of Yahweh, ahchyam, Yahweh Shah's fierce anger. And it shall be as a chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. This is talking about before the nuclear destruction. You're going to start hearing about a lot of heathens packing up their shops and getting the fuck up out of America, because it's about to get bad out here. And everyone that is found shall be thrust through. That's talking about you coons, you Uncle Toms, you Uncle Tomahawks, you shoe-shining coon bastards, all of you niggas who love the so-called white man. You're going to be thrust through during them race wars. Okay? And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Okay? Which proves that these gun laws is BS, because guns are still going to be around even during the time of the race wars. Their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Okay, in an event that there's martial law, the law of the country is made none void. Is made none void, which means what? The law of martial takes over. Which martial law, the word martial means warlike. And then you got the word law, which the word law is another word for decree. So the word martial law literally means warlike decree, which a decree is a decision or a law. So in the hour of martial law, it's anything goes. So that means that these troops are going to be allowed to commit murder. They're going to be raping women. They're going to be dragging Israelites out of their homes, putting them in concentration camps. Family members are going to be tortured, experimented on. Women are going to be raped in concentration camps. It's going to get bad out here, man. Okay, and in the hour of martial law, America is not going to be using their own troops against the people on the soils of America. America is going to be using the UN troops, because according to the Posse Comitatus Act, which was passed in the 1800s, the Posse Comitatus Act prevented the use of American military against its own citizens. So they have the United Nations troops over here. And let me tell you something. The United Nations troops, the UN troops, which are already here on the soils of America, they make up of what? The UN troops, they make up of Arabian troops. They make up of Chinese troops. They make up of Japanese troops. They make up of African troops. Chinese and Japanese troops. They make up of East Indian troops. And let me tell you something about these troops. They already don't like you people over here on the soils of America, okay? They see what America have done to their homeland, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for the okay to let loose on you people here in America, especially you Israelites, because the heathen definitely don't like you Israelites. And there's also Russian troops that are a part of the UN troops. So when that time comes, these UN troops, they're going to be used as martial law troops to hunt down and detain you people indefinitely and put you in concentration camps. And during the hour of martial law, like it said right here in Isaiah, you people who got beautiful wives, they're gonna get raped by these martial law troops. Okay, your children, they're gonna get dashed to pieces. Meaning your children, they're gonna get shot up by these weapons, by these guns, by these martial law troops. Your houses are gonna be spoiled. Meaning what? These martial law troops are gonna kick in your door. They're gonna be scouting your houses with AK guns. They're gonna have all kind of grenades on them and shit. And you're gonna be taken out of your house and put in a concentration truck and taken to a nearby FEMA camp. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. So the Lord is going to use the so-called Israelis to draw America's attention to Iran, so the Lord can stir up the modern day Medes, which is Russia, against the United States. And we know that the them is talking about Babylon. The Lord is going to stir up the Medes, the Russians, against Babylon, which the modern day Medes today are the Russians. The modern day Babylons today is the United States, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Yeah, you think Russia is going to care about gold or silver? They already don't care about the United States dollar. Because modern day gold and silver today is what? This so-called cash you're using, which is really a what? A IOU debt note. It's not even real money. Real money goes back to the word Mooney, which that's silver is supposed to represent the moon, and gold is supposed to represent the sun. That's real currency right there. Gold and silver is real currency. That's real money. Not these damn green not these damn green papers you got in your wallet that's not even backed by anything. It ain't backed by gold. It ain't backed by silver. Hell, it's not even backed by copper. It's worthless. It's just paper printed from thin air. Their bows shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And that's going to happen during the hour of martial law. And Babylon, America, the United States of America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And how was ancient Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? By fire and brimstone. Okay? So the Lord basically rained meteorites on Sodom and Gomorrah. And he also sent his angels to shoot laser beams on that place. Now, America is also known as Sodom in Egypt in the book of Revelation. So the modern day fire and brimstone is going to come in the form of those intercontinental ballistic missiles. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. And this is talking about after the post-nuclear destruction of America, in which this place is going to be hit with 200 million nuclear warheads. Okay? It's literally going to look like a rain of bombs. Bombs just raining continuously from the sky on this country. Nuclear bombs. And it's not going to just be nuclear bombs that's going to be shot on this country. There's going to be hydrogen bombs that's going to be shot on this country. There's going to be sonic nuclear missiles that are going to be shot on this country. So it says, it shall never be dwelt in from generation to generation, Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Right, because Ishmael loves coming over to this country to set up shops to make profit. After the post-nuclear destruction, ain't nobody going to be over here on the soils of America trying to make a profit anymore. This country is going to be obsolete. So after the post-nuclear destruction of this country, it shall never be inhabited. However, wild beasts of the deserts shall lie there, because that's basically what this country is going to be. This country known as Babylon, also America, and Sodom and Egypt, this country is going to be one big fucking desert. Ain't nobody going to be allowed to live over here. After the post-nuclear destruction of this country. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, her days, Babylon's days, okay, the days of Edom's rulership shall not be prolonged. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.